Welcome back, everybody. Another episode on the JitsGuy podcast. I'm super excited for this one. We're talking to somebody that is a veteran here in the UAE, somebody very experienced. If it is your first time on this YouTube channel checking out the JitsGuy, thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when incredible people like the one I'm about to introduce are on the show. My guest tonight is somebody that is well rooted in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu as well as the UAE Jiu Jitsu program. Having accomplished multiple world titles, multiple Brazilian championship titles, she has been a pivotal role in the development of women programs in Jiu Jitsu all around the world, but particularly in the UAE. She continues her incredible mission until today. She's a third-degree BJJ Black Belt, a physical education expert, and a surfer. So that gets big points for me. Give it up for the awesome Polyana Lago. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much to be here. It's a pleasure to me
Absolutely.
to talk with you guys.
Absolutely. And I feel like we naturally have a connection and a friendship because of the sea. You're somebody that seems to love the sea, right?
I really love.
And Jiu Jitsu.
Like in my free time, I enjoy on the sea. I like it.
I can see. I was just saying offline, like she looks like she just came out of the beach, surfing, that carioca lifestyle, living in the UAE.
But I'm not carioca, but yeah, the lifestyle is nice.
It is absolutely. But no, thank you so much for being here. Like Polyana, when I did 2 weeks ago, I posted on a story. I'm like, who do you guys want to listen to and who do you appreciate from your jiu-jitsu journey? So many people said Polyana, and especially the female audience on my Instagram.
Thanks, girl.
Yes, it's clear you've had an impact on a lot of people.
Yeah, when I proposed myself to come here a few years ago, I proposed to try to my best to change some lives, because when we hear about the project, when we come, I'm a physical education teacher, so you dream that you're gonna achieve and help people and change their lifestyle. It's nice. Haven't been nice.
I like that you came here with that mission. A lot of people come here with like, it's jiu-jitsu, it's ADCC place, it's the desert. But you came here with a mission in mind, not just to come and fight in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, when I stepped here, my first time that I went in Abu Dhabi on ADCC place, I was like a shocked and really enjoyed the place. I was like,
wow.
I'm on the ADCC. And I started to take pictures. I didn't know. So suddenly, Arabic guy come and say, "Oh, stop to take a picture. You cannot," because was having a class, kids class. So probably there was special kids there or kids that I couldn't record. So, but the same dream I think I have. But as a PE teacher, as a physical education teacher, I have something on the side. So because I love it, not only the jiu-jitsu, but the training and the preparation for it, I love it.
That's what we need to hear. That's what we need to hear, Polyana, because this is the thing I learned about Brazil. A lot of countries, and not to diss teachers in PE in any country, some of them are incredible. But what I like about Brazil is that not anybody can be a PE teacher or even a personal trainer. You have to have a degree.
Yeah, we have to make a university, 4 years of a university.
Amazing. So, I want somebody that went to university 4 years to train me, not somebody that took an online course.
Yeah, this is the difference. I think outside, I think the majority of the countries are like that, right? You can make a course 2 years or less, and you can give private class, you can...
Much less.
For me, as a physical education teacher with degree of 4 years study, for me, sometimes I feel like I expend more time than that person, so she has the same level, let's say like that, on the physical education.
This is where it gets tricky, and I'll tell you something, Polyana. As somebody, I'm born and raised in the UAE. We joined the fitness trend very late. We didn't have a fitness lifestyle. When I grew up, all our birthdays were KFC, McDonald's. Like, we had no fitness. Gyms were like for the wealthy, crazy people to go to the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
In the last 15 years, we got into it, but because it became such a big business, a lot of people jumped in, maybe not as certified as you. And this is why so many people have the wrong idea of fitness and health. That's why I want to talk to you today as well, not just for jiu-jitsu, but to also enlighten the listeners about something you believe in with physical education. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Nice. Yeah. I think for we do jiu-jitsu here. Okay, we teach jiu-jitsu for girls, for boys, on the military schools. But when we have such knowledge of physical education, it can go deeper to make them better. You know, even those who doesn't have like a degree, I think if they try to study a little bit more, it will be easy for them to work like on a daily basis at school, you know, or on the military. I'm sure that all the teachers who have the degree or even the course, because okay, it's less, but it's work. At least they learned something, right?
100%.
Maybe it's not that much, but they learn. I'm sure that they learn. So for sure, the work, the daily basis will be easier.
Yes.
Because, as you said, you guys doesn't have the background as a sports,
exactly.
Right? So all the country has this issue with sports and with healthy lifestyle about food and how to hydrate themselves and eat. So they have a little bit wrong thinking about those. Now it's much better, as you say. It's another, let's say, it's another level. I think they achieve another level for sure. Yeah. Especially the ladies. I can say more for the ladies because I'm here for 9 years. So for me, I can see the difference when I start with my first girls on the school, Alfadel in Alain, that it's a Bedouin area, all right? So you know that it's a little bit harder.
Yes.
But the point is not harder to teach them, because I know that will be funny, this comparing, but in Brazil, you know that we have favelas. Do you know what means favela, right?
Yeah, okay. The poor areas with the slums and stuff,
So even in every city or every country city, we have those small favelas or something like that.
Okay.
So, but those people, they are really active and they like sports. Normally, the bad side is, okay, they are a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they don't have
too active.
Yeah, so there is the two sides. So normally, it's almost the same situation, all right? Because the Bedouin people, they love it, exercise, and they do really well.
Okay.
But there is some informations that sometimes is not so well passed to them, so they feel a little bit like I don't know this one. So this is what I faced when I arrived here. It was a hard school because they like, what's jiu-jitsu for what? What's that? So on the beginning, it was hard to achieve their families and explain that it's a sport that will bring it healthy and also the difference, because they are a little bit more close. So they like the sports, but they are not so open. It's the same situation with the poor areas that we have in Brazil. It's almost the same. I know it's not the same, but it's just to have an idea. So it was something that I already faced in Brazil. Wow. So this experience was not so hard, but was different.
I see what you mean, because like it's extremes. Brazil has the overactive, sort of like detached individual from the group environment. The Bedouin environment is very much a group environment, right? That is detached from regular society. So it's kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. But that's the interesting thing that you bring up, is a lot of the Arabs, or let's say Emiratis, Bedouin families, they're thinking like, why do I need to fight? We don't live in a dangerous country. We don't live in like what? And my girl to fight? Like this is how they're thinking, right?
Yeah, I listen like fathers or mothers who come and say, why my daughter will do that?
So interesting.
So I explained this was the nice thing to have the degree, let's say like that, because I could explain for them in physiology way, in a biomechanical way, why they should too. And another thing was, when I arrived here, I read a little bit the Alquran to learn and understand how is the religion. Because outside from here, sometimes the media don't give us the right information from the place. Okay.
True.
So they hide things. Sometimes they make it worse, the information.
Yes.
So
We've heard a lot of that. Yeah.
for sure. So I need to understand like from inside, not from what I hear from outside. So help me also a lot
What?
to read and understand. For example, one thing that I remember that this was clear on my head is in our Quran doesn't have anything who say that it's not allowed to make it sports. Actually, the Prophet asked to practice sports.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly what he say, but he say that we should to practice sports to keep it our health. So this also was something that helped me to argue with their parents and explain them that was not a bad thing for them, that give them health, power, and all, because jiu-jitsu is not only the training, give you become smart. Yes. I know that it's funny it's not funny, do you agree? Because
it makes you more analytical.
Yes, you have many things that you have to think. You just don't act. It's not you have strategy, you have power, you have many things. Yeah. We know that, but the strategy and it's something that for me it's amazing because you have to think. It's not something that let's fight and go.
I think, Polyana, the thing with jiu-jitsu is a lot of people, they live their life as a passenger. They let some other circumstance take control of their life, whether it's their parents, their husbands, their wives, their business, their boss. They let them take control and they're just there for the ride. In jiu-jitsu, you cannot do that. You can't be a passenger. You have to be a driver, otherwise you're going to get strangled. Yes. The mission is to get them in the driver's seat, to get them to start jiu-jitsu. Once they start, they realize I have choices. I can put myself in bad positions. I can put myself in good positions. I can attack now. Oh shit, now I can submit. Now I can do... This is where jiu-jitsu is super interesting and powerful for people that come from these backgrounds. I get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I think that the more important thing that we have in jiu-jitsu is like you learn... Okay, I know that it's something that everybody say this, but you can learn how to protect yourself. And for 100%. Girls, for me, this is... in my point of view, every woman on the world should practice jiu-jitsu. All right. I don't want to be black belt. It's fine. But at least you have to learn self-defense and the basically things like when someone attack you. Why? Because, okay, for you guys, when you guys are outside or happen something, some stress or something like that, normally it's a fight. It's like MMA. It's a fight. You guys will punch each other. Okay. When the woman gets attacked, normally it's not a fight. Normally it's raped or something, someone trying to kill. So,
exactly. Because of the opposite gender. Like there's the risk of that. It's not like a man can get raped in a fight. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, they could get raped in jail. Different circumstances. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but yes. Another point is here in UAE, it's safe. I really understand it, and I like for me, my life here, I cannot compare in Brazil. Yeah. But I know that it's safe. But even these girls, they should practice to make them stronger, to make them know how to protect themselves. You know, it's something like jiu-jitsu is amazing.
Something very important, since we're talking about this, Polyana, and this is a discussion I've had with my wife, with my sister, with my mother, with other women in our region. They look at jiu-jitsu and they see it as awkward positions. You know what I mean? And all over the world, but especially Arabic cultures where women don't regularly high five, hug men, zero, you know?
They don't have the touch.
They see it as going from a bicycle to a Ferrari. Like it's like 0 to 100. They feel weird. What do you have to say to that? Because I keep trying to explain it to her. I'd be like, it's better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it. You know what I mean? Like it's better to be in that safe position with me, training as your husband, as somebody you trust, that God forbid you're in the position where you need to use it. You know what to do. Like, how do you explain this as a woman to another woman?
Yeah, like actually, I don't explain.
Okay.
Nowadays, I teach teenagers and adult ladies here in a Rock Club.
Okay.
So nowadays, the girls already arrive in my class knowing what is jiu-jitsu. But even though when they arrived for my first class. Their first month, it's self-defense. I don't put them to, I don't know. I don't know if you know, I'm come from Alliance, okay, in Brazil. So they have a kind of, I think
A
you
program.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a kind of program. I don't follow the same program because I can't. But I need to use the knowledge the knowledge that I have. So
100%.
yeah, so I use the same idea. Like the girls, they arrive to my class, they make self-defense. When they are, and they don't training with anyone. So they training only with me or with Paloma, that it's my partner, or Lais and Laura. There is 2 helpers who help me.
Okay.
All of them, it's Brazilian. So we make it only the teachers make the self-defense with them. So this is their first step. So, and after, if they start to really enjoy and like it, we go to the Jiu-Jitsu part.
Nice.
This is what I'm trying to do, because it's really hard that the girl arrived and I say, okay, now you're going to close the guard. Like there is, and I can understand that there is positions that it's hard. When I started to pro Jiu-Jitsu 23 years ago in my country city, I was the only girl on the mat.
Whoa, okay.
So like, it's almost the same idea here. Here, you guys will not have girls and boys on the same mat, but like 1 for 30 on the mat. So it was the same situation. So on the beginning,
most of the girls in the Arab world recently, they're starting Jiu-Jitsu like that.
For sure. So I can understand them, because I passed through something similar.
Yes.
But yeah, just come back. So normally I don't put the girls face it in the first step with Jiu-Jitsu, you know? I don't think the girls should to start straight away with Jiu-Jitsu. They should start with the self-defense for their head, start to understand when they will use the Jiu-Jitsu. And when we arrive at there, they already feel comfortable to do that.
They already hugged the partner. They already used frames. They engage. They know what to do.
I teach them how to, okay, someone come to choke you. You need to hug the head and throw or something like that. So they already understand, or their body starts to understand that is not something sexual or something that will make them uncomfortable. The opposite will make them comfortable and self-confident. This is this is my way how to teach. And normally I don't talk with them. I don't get to explain. I ask them to come to my class. On the beginning, on the past, I should to explain a little bit more.
Okay.
Because was not so well splitted the information. So in the beginning it was not so.
And there's no girls training Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, when I arrived here, was me and more 8 coaches, female coaches. So it was total 9 coaches, if I'm not wrong.
And how many now?
Coaches. Like it was 3 coaches in Al Ain and 7 and 8 coaches in Abu Dhabi.
Do you have any idea how many coaches female there are now?
Female, okay. In Al Ain, I know that there was around 42 coaches. Whoa. I don't know if it increased more than this number. So probably in Abu Dhabi, the same number. And here in Iraq, I'm not sure, but maybe 10 girls.
So maybe 90 to 100.
Yeah, let's say 100 coaches in UAE, female coaches now.
That's
so
10 times the amount that you started with.
Yeah. In Al Ain, I become a supervisor there. So I helped to make the project grow also. So it was nice. Yes. It was a nice experience.
Let's take a step back. I want to get to know a little bit about your backgrounds for the people listening that don't know. You come from a very cool place in Brazil, Ubatuba?
No, Ubatuba, it's like it's my dream city to live when I get old.
Oh, okay. So where do you come from?
City, so it's a really cool place. My city, it's a country city beside of Ubatuba. We call it São José dos Campos. It's next to São Paulo. Okay. So from the same academy that I come, probably you guys know Calazans. We are from So we are from the same master. So there is in our city also André Galvão.
Yes.
So there is some good guys on the city.
Just some good guys,
yeah. I think they are. A little bit.
They do okay in Jiu-Jitsu. Kalasan's is also a judo background family as well, right?
Yes, his family, it's a judo family, so they have the background.
So when you started Jiu-Jitsu, how old were you?
I was 18 to 19.
18 to 19. Okay, so not too young.
Not too young, yeah.
Okay, and why? What made you go to a gym if you're hanging out, enjoying the beach lifestyle in Brazil?
Yeah, I had a friends who were. We had one friend there. He was purple belt, so he always invite us to me and my friends for us to practice.
Okay,
But we don't know exactly what was. But teenagers' time, you start to come out tonight, the nightclubs and this thing. So I faced it like a few times that I had to come back to my home. Whoa. Me and my friends, the girls, 2 or 3 girls, and we are coming back late, like 12, 1 p.m. It's late and it's not safe. So like normally I drop my friends and then I'm the last one, you know.
Oh no.
So, yeah, and I didn't practice jiu-jitsu, but I started to realize that it was not so safe, this situation.
Okay, good. So nothing happened that led you to need.
No, nothing.
Good. Okay, good.
Like, so
but,
then I realized,
but you felt the need for it.
Yeah, because on those times Brazil is not so safe. Unfortunately, my country, it's amazing. I love, but nowadays it's not so safe. Yes. So on that time also was not so safe, but yeah, I think I started jiu-jitsu because of the self-defense, to learn how to.
And what was it like for you? Because you're saying you were the one girl with 30 guys. Like when you walked into the gym, like in your head, I just want to get self-defense, or did you want to actually like become a martial artist?
I think I start for the defense.
Okay, makes sense.
No, actually, I need to tell you. I need to tell you the truth.
Okay.
So in one of these days that I was coming back from the night with my friends, I faced a few girls and we fight. Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
It was 3 girls and me, so they hit me. I didn't get blood or something like that.
Okay.
But from that day on, I thought like I need to know at least to don't get this situation and because one punch me, the other one push me, so I get one, we fall down on the floor. It was a street fight. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's good to know it ended in the ground.
Yeah, end on the ground. So after that, I realized that no, I need to know how to really protect, because it was only instinct.
Yes.
So I think everybody have a good instinct. Yes. But I thought that I need to learn how to do properly.
Did the person you were fighting have any martial arts background, do you think?
One of the girls, yes. She had karate kyokushin. I don't know if in English it's...
Yeah, kyokushin karate. Yeah. So it's the more aggressive karate.
Yeah.
It's not the kata and stuff. Yeah, they can beat the shit out of people. Yeah.
So after that, I realized that I need to learn how to protect myself. And then I come to this friend, I say, look, I need to learn. I passed through such situation. I don't want this happen anymore.
Brilliant. Because
maybe it can happen again. So I don't want this happen again.
So when you go into a gym back in that time in Brazil, was it self-defense oriented or was it sport jiu-jitsu? Like what did it feel like? Because today you go into most gyms, it's like, okay, this is how you do a scissor sweep from, like, it's not self-defense in most gyms you walk into today.
Yeah. No, there was where I learned. I got my black belt. Let me explain my background, okay?
Please.
My black belt comes from Osvaldo Alves. I don't know if you hear about this.
Of course.
He's my master. I took my black belt from one student from him, Sergio Lisboa. It's his name, okay? So he gave me my black belt.
Wow.
So our background from Osvaldo, they give, since you start, self-defense. So when I started with self-defense. So Sergio and Juninho, that is the purple belt who teach us.
Yes.
Because the purple belt was our friend, and there was the master, Sergio, who teach us. So they always start their class with us with the self-defense. So it's something also from the school of Osvaldo. So Osvaldo, he likes. His background is judo, I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's judo. Yeah,
Yes.
he's judo.
Osvaldo Alves had a judo background, but he was a direct student of Carlos Gracie, not Elio.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was unique in that sense. And I believe John Jack Machado trained under Osvaldo Alves.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so guys that are very legitimate in MMA and Jiu Jitsu trained under Osvaldo Alves. Like you rarely hear of a bad lineage coming from him.
Yes, and I love it to be from his lineage.
Yes.
Flavio Serafim, he makes some jokes with me saying about the wrist locks and this stuff. Tough and
hostilities.
He make like jokes like you are so like rude. You come with wrist locks from Osvaldo. This he always.
I love wrist locks. I train with the guys here, and you know Alexandre Nascimento. So he makes a joke and he says Polyana is casca grossa. I don't know what that means.
Obrigada.
Okay. When we train, because I'm from Palestine, he calls it the Gaza Strip because it's all wrist locks, hostilities. So he calls it Gaza.
But it's really good, yeah. The problem of the wrist locks is doing on the training because you can hurt. Normally you don't have time to tap. You only have time to shout. So this is the beginning with the wrist lock. But it's really effective position, right?
Old school, tough. Yes. That's the stuff I love. So when you got started with them, you're like you started with these people. That's incredible.
Training with Fredson Paixão. I don't know if you know about him.
I've heard, but not very well.
It was one of the guys who really do a lot of wrist locks. He took it many guys by this position. So I used to training sometimes because I'm from a country city. So Osvaldo is Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana. So the world champion when it was in Brazil was also in Rio. So I used to be one month on his academy, sleeping on the tatami to fight in the worlds.
So wait, like you went from I need self-defense to sleeping on the tatami.
Yeah, sorry, it's
what happened there? Why did you go from innocent girl going clubbing to I need to win the world pro?
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, because when we used to go to competitions, like my city from Rio de Janeiro, it's 5 hours by bus. So I couldn't only go to fight and come back. So normally we go. On that time, we don't have money to pay hotel or these stuffs. So our grandmaster allowed us to be on the mat during the night. So yeah.
Did you find that you were good? Like, did you feel like, I'm actually good at this? Like, it's not just self-defense. I can actually be something with jiu-jitsu. Did you think of that in the beginning?
No, I don't think so. On the beginning, no. But my first world champion title was as a blue belt. Okay. I have 4 titles. The first one was as a blue, and the other 3 was a black belt.
Oh,
so on that time, the female was blue belts with blue belts and purple, brown, and black. So when I got my purple, they split the purple and they keep just brown and black. So on the purple, I didn't won, and on the black, I won. So when I took the first world title, I think that time I realized maybe I can be good on that.
But not career, because back then there wasn't much money or career in jiu-jitsu.
Any money, any career. My mom was my sponsor. I had.
God bless moms. They're always the sponsors for us.
I love her. She knows that. Until brown belt, she was like my sponsor. I had a sponsor like a kimono. Atama was my sponsor.
Mama.
Yes, mama. So I had some sponsors on that time. But like clothes or kimono, just something like that, or supplements.
Yes.
So just this thing, like a gym. I can go to the gym and practice there without pay. This is all my life. I alhamdulillah, I had. So
Nice.
I didn't spend money with this.
Amazing.
But for example, from a small city to go to Rio de Janeiro, it's 5 hours by bus. So you expend the bus. The competition was not so cheap. So yeah.
It's crazy. Like we take it for granted here in the UAE, where it's like, oh, there's a competition next door. Let me go. You guys, it is like going bus 5 hours, take a bicycle, 1-2-stroke motorcycle to get there. Like it's difficult. It had to be commitment.
I think, but this, like if we cannot to compare the countries.
Yes.
You know, because let's think that we are older than you guys. UAE become a country now 47, 8?
Almost 50 years. 49.
Yeah, so it's everything. It's something new, right?
Yes.
So Jiu-Jitsu also it's new. From this almost 50 years, Jiu-Jitsu it's here. How many years? 15 or
since
a little
2000.
bit more?
Since 2000.
Yeah. So
20 years.
So and it still have some issues. In Brazil, it's the same. If you go in Brazil on the academies there, nowadays, with Fábio Gurgel, Gracie Barra, with the big academies that they are more aware with pedagogical aspects of the training or something, or these things, they are open with more girls or another kind of classes or self-defense class or these things. On that time, we don't have. So it's the same situation happen here. Now, you guys are starts to have. So it's hard to compare our time 20 years ago with. Yeah, I think it's hard to compare. You know,
it seems to be a natural cycle for countries to go through these phases.
Yeah.
Like you see, USA, when it first started, women couldn't do anything, right? And then now they went through it. Like it seems to be nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with culture. It seems to be just a human thing. But like back then in Brazil, it was, you would say, more difficult for a woman to start jiu-jitsu?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Until now, nowadays you don't see many women on the mat. There is no many. I'm sure there is not that many girls together on the same place. You know.
Yeah.
Before I come here, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, I was in Alliance. There was many tough guys there.
Yes.
So on the 7-8 years that I trained there, on the mat, okay. At 12 o'clock, it was the competitor training. So you don't see many girls. But on the mats, there was 40 guys. And me, Luana Alzugir, Gabriele Garcia, Andressa Correa, Mayara Massa. 5 girls, 6 girls. So there was not so many girls. If you put it on the scale, it's not that much, right?
No, but you look today in Team Nogueira Dubai, you've got a girls' class of 30.
This, I think it's really hard to find this number of students around the world of female. Like a Leticia Ribeiro, maybe she have, because she's specialized on that. So I think there is places that have, but the numbers here of girls, it's amazing. If you can places.
I have a question for you, and this is because there's been a little bit of drama around this issue in the last, I'm sure the last month, there's been some talk about this. Do you feel most Olympic sports, wrestling, basketball, volleyball, the guys train with the guys, the girls train with the girls. It has nothing to do with being sexist. It's just a biological reason that they do it.
Yeah.
With jiu-jitsu, unfortunately, because of the circumstances when you started, there wasn't enough girls to train with. So you had no choice. It was okay, so that means no women start jiu-jitsu. It had to be a mix. Do you believe today women and men should still train together, or should they be women with women, men with men? Because there's more women around the world that train jiu-jitsu today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Normally, the majority of the girls, they looking for classes that it's only for girls.
Right.
They feel more comfortable.
All around the world.
Yeah. It's something normal, especially because we was talk about the positions.
Exactly. Yes.
It's for some girls, it's hard for them to make those positions. It's our inconscient mind will think dirty things, let's say like that, probably
Yes.
will pass on their mind. So they will not,
Especially beginners. Especially beginners.
Actually, yeah. So in my point of view, I think all the girls should to practice with them, only themselves, like girls with girls, boys with boys.
Okay.
I think the girls, they only should to, okay, I need to maybe search for a class with guys or mixed class if she want to become a competitor or something like that.
Interesting. Or MMA.
Yeah. So because it's a different, how can I say? It's different, the impact of the training. Okay.
Yeah. The intensity.
Yeah, the intensity. Thank you. Yeah, the
Yes.
intensity. It's a little bit not so. It's not so intense. The training with the girls. It's good that I know many tough girls that if I put it on the same mat, something. If I take it, that's on my head. Rafaela, Virginia, Paloma, Laís. If I put all the girls on the same training, I'm sure that everybody will come tired outside from the training.
Yeah.
But the point is, almost all of them was competitors, so they had the same experience like me with training with mixed class.
Exactly.
So I think all the girls should train by themselves with the girls because they will feel more comfortable. They will, and this is something that it's make the difference on the learning.
How so?
If you don't feel comfortable where you are, you will not get the information that it's passing through you there.
Very true.
Know? If you and this is the hard thing for girls. We sometimes we don't like there is many guys that I don't know where they come from. I don't know what's their thoughts. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they will think about me. So they will not feel comfortable.
They're concerned about their surrounding, not what they're receiving.
Yeah. So they will be more concerned about what's going on around than to really pay attention on the information that's going on there.
Very interesting. Now another follow-up question, which is the level 2 of this, and this is another very important one for the women listeners. Can women training with women be effective against a man should they be attacked on the street? Now the man maybe doesn't train Jiu Jitsu, maybe he's a beginner Jiu Jitsu. Let's say you train only with women, you're a purple belt. Can a man white belt on the street be a danger? Like, will training only with women prepare you for a man white belt attacking you on the streets?
Yeah.
Yes?
They can be ready for
I believe it. I know it. But sure. I want to see, like, in a wide sense, from a scope from the athletic girl to the non-athletic girl. If they manage to reach purple belt, will they be effective against the male, regardless of how strong they are?
Yeah. I believe as a black belt, I believe, because Jiu-Jitsu, the point of Jiu-Jitsu, it's you learn the power of the person against them, right?
Yes.
I don't know if my translation is
you
right.
Use their power against them. Yeah.
So if you learn the exactly technique, if the teacher who is teaching you is good and teach you the right positions, I'm sure that the girl, she will be able to protect her, especially because another information that it's interesting. Normally, who attack is not people who fight or who has some background of fighting or something like that.
Brilliant point. Yes.
Yeah, this is the big point.
Yes.
One thing is you attack me, so probably it will be a hard time. Okay, but maybe I can protect myself or something. But another page, it's normally those people are crazy people who doesn't know any martial arts. It's the sick people who do these things. So the Jiu-Jitsu, as we was talking in the beginning, it's really smart sport. Make it you think and be smart. So I think the girl, she will be able to protect herself against a guy that doesn't know anything, for sure.
This is so interesting because, like, the
drama already happened with me, situation like that. in Brazil, in a nightclub. I will tell you. I was
after jiu-jitsu, after you started jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
Okay, what happened? I want to know.
So I was in a nightclub. I was practicing. I was in my university. Okay, my university. It's in another city. So there was a party there, and me and my friends, we went for the nightclub there. Me and my friends from the university.
Yes.
So we was there dancing, and suddenly someone put their hand on my butt.
Oh no! Big mistake.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah. So I did the defense that my master teach me. So, but was by instinct. I was not expected that. Okay, because I was in a nightclub dancing. So the guy put the hands, and I just when I realized I was with my hand on his shoulder blade, holding him like that.
Yeah.
And I just like, wow, why you did that? And I push him. So the security guy come. I say for the security, take him, put it out. But I was purple belt. So, okay, I was competitive, but it was really cool.
Absolutely.
Polyana, nice to see you did. Amazing. Some of them
shots. Oh my goodness.
That's jiu-jitsu after that. So,
I'm sure they did. They're probably like, oh my goodness, this is like real in life action. That's the best way to start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, was really nice because this is the point. Because this, I believe that the girls, they can trust with girls.
Yes.
And they can learn how to protect themselves. Because who will attack them?
Yeah.
It's someone, first, he don't expect that the girl will make the self-defense.
Absolutely.
So when he realized that he take the shot, let's say like that, of the defense, he will be shocked.
Yes.
He will be like, what happened? What's going on? Like, I was not expecting that. So for sure,
also,
I believe girls, they can, with a good teacher. With a good teacher.
Listen, shout out to Master Osvaldo Alves with that. Like, the guy has a technique for hand on the butt. That's an impressive guy. He's ready to teach. Oh my God. So this is the hand on the butt technique. That's a good name.
No. I think, actually, it was not this name that he used to use. But because, oh gosh.
Me and the guys, we joke about the names because, like, there's the Brazilian names. For example, Guarda Gigante. Right, Guarda Gigante, and then in the States it's Borboleta, it's the butterfly.
Yeah.
So in Brazil they have a cool name, but in English it goes bad. So we'll call it hand on the butt technique because it's English. Yeah. Gringo technique. But I mean, for a guy, especially a guy who doesn't train martial arts, because you're right. Guys who train martial arts would never attack a woman. Like, it's a difficult conversation. Some people like twisted guys, sick people. They will train martial arts to have more leverage against their victim. Yeah. And this is why I believe the relationship between master and student cannot be commercial. Because, for example, if my professor, he knows me, he trains with me every day. If he feels I'm a bad person, he should have a responsibility over me. But if we turn jiu-jitsu into commercial, and everybody comes in, check, I will teach you all the techniques because you paid me money, and this is the transaction, I think it's dangerous because that's when bad people can learn jiu-jitsu without being taught the martial arts discipline.
Yeah. And I agree with you for sure. But okay. I think it's not all the academies that really think that they need to know something like that,
Yes.
I think it's only like because the point is, if you think about numbers, okay, it's already happened that in Brazil happened, okay, that people who attack, like a man who attacked a woman and he was from jiu-jitsu or from another martial art. Okay. But the number, it's something like there is no number for that. There is no percentage for that.
Yeah, like 0.000, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But if you take the percentage of people who attack women or kids or who, like, they don't have a sports background, any sports background. They don't have any martial arts background.
Yeah.
So the number sometimes, probably not only in Brazil, but around the world, it's not something like we're going to be aware. But I used to say that normally the student choose the teacher, so the master.
Very true.
So sometimes it's hard also for us to really know deep how it is, especially nowadays, because when it's many students on the same class.
Yes.
So I think it's a little harder to have this, to know all the backgrounds.
But it's difficult to reach purple belt without having a close relationship with your professor. Like, it's difficult.
No, it's for sure. Yeah.
That's why I kind of have trust in the system. But definitely when a guy tries to like do anything to a woman and he doesn't know martial arts, and then suddenly the woman does something that shocks him, it's like a bully in school. Bullies usually don't have martial arts experience. They're just insecure kids that want to scare the other kids from exposing them because they're bigger, they're stronger, whatever. Once you show them, I can handle you, they back off quickly. They don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I think this is the beauty of the jiu-jitsu. So we can, it's hard for us to think about know everybody before purple, as we are saying.
Yeah.
But after we achieve purple belt, the relation between the master, actually, when you arrive at, I think in blue belt, you already can have if the teacher is good and he really trying to know their students and know their backgrounds, this will happen. He will know with who they are dealing, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing. Like, in order to be a good teacher, to have blue belts stay with you, you're going to have to know them. Otherwise, they'll leave you.
For sure. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you. To change gears a little bit, so I want to talk about when you got your black belt and what led you to turn this into a career. Because up until now, all I hear is just jiu-jitsu, fun, going clubbing, kicking guys' asses. But when did it turn into when did it turn into a career?
Okay. Actually, I didn't plan to become a career as a black belt, because I got my black belt was in February of 2005. Wow. So actually, I can have my 4th degree, but I need to come back to Osvaldo or Fabio Gugel, one of the two masters, to put it my stripe. I cannot put it the stripe myself. So
wow, okay.
So anyway, when I got my black belt, few months before I finished my university, my physical education degree.
Nice timing.
So then I was 24 for 25. And when I got the 3rd title of black belt, the prize that I got to be a world champion of black belt was around 1,000 dirhams.
Oh no! To fight all of these fights for 1,000 dirhams.
Yeah. So it was something like that.
Yeah.
The money. So, and I was finished my university and got my 3rd title. I didn't have on those times was harder than now. So nowadays, I'm pretty sure that the girls, they can be professional as a jiu-jitsu fighters, because I saw this with Luana Zubir, Gabriele Garcia. Yes. So I become a professional jiu-jitsu as my profession here in UAE. So when I accept to come, they invite me to come on 2007. Was after I got the 30 title and finished the university. But as we was saying on the beginning, as I don't know many informations from here, I couldn't accept to come in 2007 because I was scared what I gonna face it there.
What did you think? Like, what did you think the UAE was? Just a desert country?
This was not my problem. That the desert, I know that how in Brazil they used to say, okay, you go to UAE or Arabic countries or Muslim countries, you need to cover yourself. You cannot walk outside. You cannot drive. Almost how it's still in Saudi Arabia.
Gotcha.
Right? They have these rules there.
Yes.
So the informations that we have around all the Arab countries, it's from Saudi Arabia. It's that rules. So everybody think that the same rules that have there, it's around all the Arab countries.
True.
So this is the information that we have. The men who are killed themselves, or we hear many crazy things that you think that you're gonna face it on the streets when you are walking, and this doesn't happen. Yeah. When you arrive here, or I think even in Saudi Arabia that it's a little bit more close for girls, it's not that crazy way how we listen from the news, as we were saying.
It's not just the news, Polyana. It's also Facebook, because I was joking around with my friends. A lot of the jiu-jitsu guys, when they first arrived to the UAE, what did they do? They go with their wife, with whoever they came with, to the desert. They wear the kandora. The wife wears the abaya, and they take a picture in the middle of the desert and post on Facebook. Of course, they're gonna think it's a desert. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's a desert, and you should just wear those clothes. That's it, abaya and kandora.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so I did an accept in 2007, and then on 2010 to 2011, I received again the invite, and then I come. 2011, I arrived.
I like that. When I talk to people about you, and I ask them about Polyana and what she does, and everybody keeps complimenting the amount of work you've done with women jiu-jitsu in the UAE. Like, you were a super impactful person, and potentially like change the direction of women jiu-jitsu here. And this is something huge, because 2010 or 2009, 2010, women weren't really popularly competing. And today, you look at the women's division, it's almost as much as the men, and it's terrifying. It's real high-level jiu-jitsu, entertaining jiu-jitsu. So I know you had a big part in this, and I want to ask you why. Like, what made you kind of want to push for this, to get them in the high level?
All right. Do you remember when I told you there on the beginning that I come here with a dream?
Yes.
to change people's lifestyle, to teach them to be more polite and know the things, and know how it's the professional way of the fight. Because here you guys have the support to be professional.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
In Brazil, you have the support. Here, you guys have a lot of support.
Yes.
So it as a trainer, as a coach, not only as a jiu-jitsu coach, but as a physical education coach,
right?
Like for me, was like a dream to come here and build a national team, or be part of,
yes. The like, beginning of something.
Yes, it was like amazing to take the girls that practice with me in Alain, like a Mahra, Mara, Meta Sultan, Meta Darish, Bashai, all the girls that nowadays they are the national team girls. So for me, I feel proud of them for sure. Too much, because first they are like my daughters. I feel this is the point. I had with them a nice relation where I visit their homes. I know them, so I know their families. I know their moms. So we had a really good relation, and they allowed me to come inside of their lives.
Yes.
So they feel comfortable with me. I think they trust on me on that time. So
that's very special. Yeah,
very special. So, and when the federation asked me to help them to build the female national team together with the guys, and we travel for a few countries with the girls, we start to face it the professional way, how they are building the jiu-jitsu. So for me, it was amazing to be part of,
Yeah.
And see the girls from zero, that they doesn't know how to make it a hip escape or even crawl on the mat, because they was not used to
the physical movement.
And see them nowadays with purple belts.
That's crazy.
And tough girls, because they are tough.
Yep.
Like it's something amazing. It's something like everybody arrive here thinking that, expecting that when you arrive here in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're gonna have your. It's like when you plant trees. I'm going to plant some trees here. After 3 years, it will be really nice. But it's not like that, because we are deal with human beings. So the time it's a little bit bigger than that. So when we started in 2011 until now 2020, and they still purple belt, some of them could take the brown, but I think they need to be a little bit more on the purple, because I think they need to achieve some goals, let's say like that.
Fair enough.
And some experience, because what I think, all right, I hope the masters don't get mad with me. There is no many difference between in technical way, okay, technical part, from the brown to black belt.
Okay.
All right. I think what really make the difference between brown and black, it's the experience that you get. Because actually, when you get the black belt, it's when you start to learn. So like this that I feel, okay.
Yeah.
So there is so many, not many difference. So the girls, they can stay a little bit more. But let me come back. I go too far. So for me, it's something amazing to be part of their journey, like their journey in jiu-jitsu, and see them like because now when we start, like Faisal was the national champion at that time.
Yeah,
he's our national champion, but there was not ladies. So we used to say, one day you guys will be like Faisal. The girls will look to you guys like, I want to be like that girl, you know?
Yes.
So for me, it's amazing. The change that we bring, the change that I bring for some of the girls and the other coaches who come after also. I think each one bring it something nice, you know? But start with them was amazing. It was not easy.
It's beautiful to hear.
Huh?
That's, of course it was hard. Like, but here's the interesting thing I'll tell you. Look at all countries in the world with sports. Sports have always been a gateway for progress as a society. Always. You hear so much about like racial inequality, whites and blacks. The biggest thing I believe that broke racial inequality in the US is not politics, it's sports. Because people saw how incredible the African American community was at boxing, at baseball, at American football. You cannot not love them. Like, they were so fucking inspiring that the people wanted to like love them. And sports shows you there is no difference in skin color. You can love any person with a race. So and gender is the same thing. Yeah. I believe it's the same thing, because when it comes down to it, to make somebody believe, to inspire somebody, has nothing to do with the gender or race.
No, especially because, just because girls compete against girls. God made boys and girls, okay?
Yeah.
We cannot change this. I never, if I take it a black belt guy, okay, I can be tough training for him.
Okay.
Maybe I can have the luck to beat him, to make him tap or something like that.
Okay.
But he's still a man and I'm still a girl. Mm-hmm. If he really, really, really wants to avoid me to do something,
okay, he can muscle. He can muscle through.
In physiology, it's everything like it's different. So I think it's amazing.
There is definitely that aspect of male versus female, but the thing that I wanted to say is, and this is a kind of appreciation for the UAE. Many countries, in order for change to happen through sports, it tends to be violent. It tends to be difficult. There has to be like major sacrifice. But I think something to look back in history, the change for women to join jiu-jitsu competitions and for women to become high-level competitors was actually very supportive, considering Muslim culture, the history, Bedouin culture, much more difficult starting point than US, than like open Western society. But in open Western society, so much violence came when women tried to start in sports and tried to work, women to work, women to vote. UAE, this all happened without any violence. This all happened with people like you that came with passion and showed the way. It was somebody that just needed to open the flashlight and be like, nice, yes, let's go. And all the leaders and everybody, they want to support it. So this is the message. Like, it's more, we need people like you to keep shining lights and showing like what's possible for men and women, for all the people living here. And that's how we advance. I think so.
Yeah, for sure. My plan, my dream when I came here was show like everybody can practice. Everybody should to practice, especially girls, because everybody think normally the people think girls don't need to practice exercise or don't need to fight or something like that.
Okay.
Especially on the Arab countries, as you said. So, and I really like to see the girls practice. You know, I think Arab girls. I'll tell you something that it's my thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
I think Arab girls, they are really, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know that will be funny also, but do you know? You never will know, because guys never will have a birth. You guys will never have a baby, so you don't have this experience.
Okay.
But
we have kidney stones. We get kidney stones. It's like we're proud. This is the only thing men can say.
Something similar, but the ladies here, they don't. But it's not the same pain.
I know.
Yeah, but that's the point. They handled such pain without medicines. How comes they are not strong? Like the people doubt that women are not strong because this or that. This is like let me see in English how we can say preconcept.
Yeah, misconception.
Yeah, how can I say?
Preconception.
Yeah, they create something that they don't know. And I saw many girls really strong here. The only problem is they was maybe had advised, like who was really teach them and tell them how to do the things was not so good on the past. So nowadays they have many good coaches. So the girls can be, I think they can be a really good power anyway in Jiu-Jitsu.
In my personal belief experience, and like I have a son and a daughter, and I got to see them, you know, growing up and like to see the differences between them. I believe the key thing for women is confidence. Men can compensate for confidence. Women can't. When a woman has confidence, here's the thing. You're saying that women can deliver, women can do this, women can do that. It's true. But if I was to put my finger down on what's the difference between men and women, and to be perfectly egoless and honest, women's control of their mind is much more strong than men. So their ability to ignore pain, their ability to focus on things is definitely, like, I've seen men cry from much softer things than birth. You know, like women for some reason, like my sister, she like sometimes we look at her like, are you in pain or no? We can't tell. For me, it's you'll know when I'm in pain. You know what I mean? Like women are different in this thing. So when a woman competes in jiu-jitsu versus other women, this is something that's interesting. Like you see their confidence once they have jiu-jitsu. They have something, this light changes and they're confident. It's intimidating. You know, you, as a guy, and you see a woman that's a black belt, the way she walks, the way she stands, it's intimidating. You're looking like, I need to be careful. You know what I mean? Guys sometimes that are black belts are not as intimidating. Right? Because you feel like women are much more mentally capable than men. I don't know why. This is just my personal opinion.
I agree with you. For sure. I agree with you. Because
emotionally.
For sure. And as you have two kids, like you can see that, I don't know the difference between them.
Yeah,
but
4 years.
She's much more like aware what is going on around than the boy, right?
Yeah. She controls me with her small finger, not because I love her. She knows how to control me. She really does. My son is just like, Baba, play, fun. My daughter, she's looking at me. And she's like...
She's teasing you. She's already...
Yeah, and when I do something she doesn't like, she starts doing those things. Like she knows what she's doing. My son had no idea. Yeah, that's the mental power.
Yeah, because this jiu-jitsu, it's good for girls here because they are really strong. I think I will keep saying this. All the women should to practice.
I hope so, and I hope women listening here, like, I know a lot of my community and listeners are already doing jiu-jitsu. But I really hope like this reaches to a point that some non-jiu-jitsu women listen to this and get inspired, because that'll be the greatest victory. I've heard it already through this podcast, and I hope more situations like that happen. Tell me about some of the special memories for you working with the national team, like some competition or moments, some things that make you like you'll take this memory with you to Brazil or for the future forever, like you'll carry it with you.
I have many. I have many, but like okay. The first competition that we had, we went in Bangkok with Meta Darish. So she was by herself, was only one girl. We couldn't bring it any more girls. So it was all the boys, the national team of the boys and Meta. So it was her first experience.
Whoa.
Imagine for Arcu lady, local, that never travel alone.
Yeah.
Go with me and with team in another country. So was really
no teammates. Like there's no like
teammate. Only me and her.
I lost, but Abdullah will get gold. No, it's only her.
Yeah. So yeah, this was my first. I had another travel with another lady, but we went in Phuket. Shifa was the same situation. She go by herself. So for her also was really hard time. So this two experience was different because was only one girl in each one of them.
Okay.
So I could see that for them was a hard time because they was broken many walls.
Wow.
On their lives, let's say like that, right? And then
how did they perform?
Sorry?
How did they perform?
She got the third place. She fights. She lose the semifinal, and then she fights for the third place. Wow. So she got the third place. And Meta, she didn't got any medal. So because when we with Shifa was like a summer competition, was not so big. So with Meta, we went in a world champion from the Jiu Jitsu. So that federation, this federation, it's from white to black. Yeah. So all her fights was with girls brown and black from Jiu Jitsu. So it was hard time for her. And she was purple.
Were they wearing head cover? I'm like between 2013, 14, that's when it really changed. But internationally, they didn't used to allow the head cover, right?
Yeah, on the IBJJF, they didn't allow it. So on the IBJJF, we never went together because of this issue. So they couldn't fight without, so they prefer to don't fight. Understood. So we fight on the federation. It's...
But that's exciting. I mean, like to just coach student traveling, that must have been an amazing experience with them, bonding experience.
Was amazing experience. And my first experience as a Jiu-Jitsu national team coach. So for me was something important. Like as a PE teacher, I can say that was my big achievement as a coach, right? As a Jiu-Jitsu coach and as a physical education teacher, because
absolutely,
I think always we wish to be a coach for a national team. For sure, I wish to be from Brazil, but we don't have it in Brazil, so it's amazing from UAE. Yeah, for sure.
The blessing of here's the thing. Like I've in my mind, I've been doing like a lot of research about the history of Jiu-Jitsu and the most important moments in Jiu-Jitsu history. And UAE will be remembered 100 years from now as a game changer for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because regardless of what happens from here on forward, there are hundreds of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts that may not be professionally Jiu-Jitsu people had it not been for the UAE Jiu-Jitsu program. Maybe they would, I don't know, continue in their family business. Maybe they do something else. You'd be a maybe physical education teacher, not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt instructor. So it's going to change the quality of athletes in the future. Naturally, we have a system now. We have a blueprint for how a country can really benefit from Jiu-Jitsu. Who knows? Maybe Russia starts applying this. Maybe Saudi Arabia starts applying this, and it becomes a system around the world.
For sure, I agree with you, and I believe that UAE it's like in my point of view, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, it's a really wise man.
Yes.
Like
the Al Nahyan bloodline.
Someone like this in my country, wallah.
We all do. We all want a Nahyan in our countries. Because like the Al Nahyan family has their name, their history, Sheikh Zayed, may he rest in peace. Like the visionary, the guy had no education. He turned the country into this. And now Mohammed bin Zayed has education.
With him, right?
What is it?
The jiu-jitsu here start with him. You know that, right?
With Mohammed bin Zayed. So Baba Zayed is Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Mohammed bin Zayed is his son. So Sheikh Zayed started the UAE. He created the Emirates. He combined them together and he led the country. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed is his son. But what happened is Sheikh Tahnoon brought Jiu Jitsu to the UAE because he opened ADCC. But it was very small and they did one small competition. But when Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed's son, Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed, started Jiu Jitsu, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed saw the effect on him. So he made a very famous quote at a jiu-jitsu competition in 2001. The TV camera was on him and he said, if jiu-jitsu did this to my son, then I will invest it in my country. If I invest jiu-jitsu in my son, then I'll invest it in my country. And sign, let's go, Palm Sports, everything. It was all because of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed's decision. Like, we're here today.
He's an amazing guy, yeah. He's a wise man. He's like a visionary guy.
Yeah.
I think this is the word. Because, okay, we are now 20 years here, but I think the work is not for now. It's, as you say, after 100 years, the jiu-jitsu will be here. I think the people who have another background will be completely different. So
this is something like I recommend everybody to like research. There's YouTube videos on Sheikh Zayed, what he used to say as logic, and he used to obviously teach his kids about the importance of people. He used to be like, our wealth is not our oil, it's our people. And if we just rely on our oil, then we'll end up without our people, right? So you have to invest whatever you're making from this into the people, and that's what they've done, and you see where the country is. I want to talk to Polyana, the physical education expert, a little bit for the people listening, because I know this is a big point. Women training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, should they be physically conditioning separate from Jiu-Jitsu, or is Jiu-Jitsu enough?
No, they should to be practicing physical education. They should to prepare their body to practice Jiu-Jitsu. So if they prepare their body muscular and with the muscles and with the articulations, they will get less injuries on the jiu-jitsu training.
Okay.
Because what has happened? Normally, martial arts, we have the contact against each other. Jiu-jitsu, karate, MMA. So normally the fights, we have the contact. And this contact can give us injuries. It's normal. I'm not fighting against a dog. I'm fighting against a person. She's making powers. She's making against me. And so if you put your muscles ready, your heart training, you can handle it better, the jiu-jitsu training. So you will feel better during the training. For sure, you should. Everybody should practice.
Boys and girls, obviously. What's the minimum like requirement? Like when you say training, is it just going to the gym, running? Is it lifting weights? Like what do you recommend?
I recommend, especially for girls, lifting weights. It's something that it's really good to do.
Free weights, machines?
Both. I like both. I like to between, because like we have some specific training for each one. So nowadays that we are in quarantine, for example, and I'm not competing.
Yes.
My focus on the gym is to gain more muscles and trying to get a little bit more strength. So I go more to the machines.
Okay.
I will make it free weights when I want to make it my physical condition better to fight, because it's a different, how can I say in English? The physiology of the training is a little bit different. Like the machines, I will be stuck on the machine and only some articulations will move. So with the free weights, you can work not only with the muscles, but also with your heartbeat, with your lungs. So it's
different energy systems also.
Yes, exactly. So it's a little bit more similar with Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
So I believe, like, if you have a good trainer, a good coach,
yes,
you can make it your
like balance your training with
your program. Now
yeah,
come the
I
program.
get you.
He can make it your program in a nice way to be between both and don't get injuries, I think.
This is the interesting thing with jiu-jitsu. Like you look at competitors in the 1990s, then competitors 2005, 10, 15, 20, their bodies are different. Their energy is different. Like it's becoming a science, and everybody now is introducing this training with jiu-jitsu. 20 years ago, maybe no, maybe just jiu-jitsu.
No, yes, yeah. It was only jiu-jitsu. And I think that one of the things that make the difference with me and some girls from that time, yes, who is still competing until nowadays, it was we put it the physical preparation a part of the jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Because nowadays it's something like you are a competitor, you should too.
You have
to. Or will be hard for you to compete. But on those days was not something popular.
Yeah.
You do jiu-jitsu, you do workout, you do free weight, it was something like there is spots for everybody, but no one mixed together, something like that.
There's an old philosophy in jiu-jitsu, which is like, you want to get better at jiu-jitsu, do jiu-jitsu. And the man who kind of put a spotlight on this, and many people followed, was Marcelo Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
So all of us starting jiu-jitsu, we always Google, right? We go on YouTube, we want to watch videos when we're not on the mats. And then a lot of us end up in Marcelo Garcia's videos because he was very popular on YouTube. And you hear him.
And I think that he's still one of the best.
And he doesn't do anything other than jiu-jitsu.
I know.
Yeah, this is the guy that convinced people. But again, we're not all Marcelo Garcias with big calves like this and butterfly.
Yeah, this is the point. I I completely agree with you. Like, yeah,
it's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah, like you know what I believe. I believe that there is few people that they find themselves on such sports.
Yeah, they're built for it.
Phelps on the swimming.
Yes.
Marcelo Garcia in jiu-jitsu. What's the name? The guy who run?
Usain Bolt.
Yes, this one. I don't believe that I forget. Yeah. So there is such stars.
Yeah.
That they was lucky themselves to find something that they was amazing only to them. Okay.
Yeah. But genetically, physiologically, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, they are like looks like that they was building for that.
Absolutely. So, and that's the thing, like, you see Marcelo Garcia in some of the videos, when he takes off his gi, everybody's like, what? How does this guy do this?
And he's really nice. He's really polite guy. And
absolutely.
If you see him on the outside on the street, you say, who is this guy? And it's one of the tough guys on the jiu-jitsu.
This is actually, Polyana, you reminded me, like, sometimes when somebody says something, you get a flashback. When I first started jiu-jitsu, this is something that made me continue. Because when you see boxers, you see Muay Thai guys, they're always like physically athletic and shredded, right? You can tell they're athletic.
Yeah.
What terrified me from jiu-jitsu is the guys that I used to be like intimidated from had nothing to do with what real intimidating guys look like, because jiu-jitsu guys, it's like small glasses, normal guys, or like teddy bear guys, but they'll kill you. Whereas the Muay Thai boxing guys didn't look so scary. Like they looked more scary in the beginning.
Yeah, the stereotypical from them, it's something like you put it your eyes and you feel like, oh, they are fighters.
Exactly. But like most of my close friend killers in jiu-jitsu, if I saw them in the supermarket, I'd be like, move. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, but look, I agree with Marcelo saying as a trainer, because like we need to have our physical preparation to help us with jiu-jitsu, okay?
Okay.
But what will make it you tough in jiu-jitsu and have a really good conditioner with jiu-jitsu, in my point of view, it's training jiu-jitsu. Okay,
two people. Like, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, but two people, same jiu-jitsu skill. Strength is important, right? Like Renzo Gracie has a quote that I like: "Is strength is only important if you don't have it."
Yeah, I used to say like that. Like I like to make strength when I'm training. For me, it's really hard to don't make strength when I'm training. I feel like anyway. So if you don't have it,
it's important.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with him. You have to have. You have to.
I mean, that's why sometimes you get people that come in as white belts, wrestlers that are strong built, that give purple belts trouble. It's because they're physically athletic. When you train wrestling, your cardio, your conditioning, explosivity is
It's
different.
amazing. It's really good.
I definitely enjoy the cross training as well.
Yeah, I like it as well.
Yeah.
So normally when I before competition or something like that, I used to practice CrossFit training.
Oh, okay.
Cross training is nice. I like it. I really like it, actually. And I think it's the main part of our base in Jiu-Jitsu. As I was saying, you have to prepare your body
Yes.
for such impact that you're gonna have. If you don't train your muscles, don't make your muscles ready for something, a percentage of injury will be bigger.
And that's the biggest killer of jiu-jitsu. When you get injured, you can't train.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a huge point. No,
Yeah.
I really value it. Like, as I'm getting higher in jiu-jitsu and more like spending more time on the mats, I'm realizing like all of the techniques, they're great, but the most important thing is to be on the mats. And the things that are helping me stay on the mats and recover is prehabilitation before jiu-jitsu, to start mobilizing my shoulders, manguito movements, things like that, like hips. And then, like you're saying, when I do resistance training, I can train jiu-jitsu more, which gets me better.
For sure. Because you are take care of not only for the muscles, but also your articulations. We should take care, especially from our articulations. Jiu-jitsu, we put them in stress all the time.
That's
It's
true.
all the time stress over there.
I see a question that also fits in perfectly with this time in the podcast. Mamute is asking you, do you have any goals ahead of competition? If you have, what competition? Like either competition or some other goals for the future?
Yeah. I really wish to fight the ADCC. This is my it's one of my dreams that I have.
Yes.
And until now I couldn't achieve, but I still I will try, let them give the dates.
Okay.
So in Brazil now, I was waiting the dates of the ADCC in Brazil, but the situation there, it's a little bit hard.
Sure.
And I don't know if we can be out now, but this was my main goal for this year. I was trying to go to the trials to get the spots to fight the ADCC.
I get so excited when people say this. I really hope you do. I hope you do.
When I start to think, I feel like, I can do.
Yes.
So this is my main goal. And when the World Pro, when the federation give the time, this year I will fight the World Pro as an adult. I will not fight as a master.
Impressive. I like it. This is the thing. Like you're living a very. I think you have a nice balance in terms of jiu-jitsu and lifestyle. We had a little bit of talk before, like you're enjoying as well the surfing, the natural life of Ras Al Khaimah, right?
Yes, I like it. Ras Al Khaimah, I feel like we cannot compare places, but Ras Al Khaimah, I feel that it's almost like in Brazil, some beach places, because you can go to the beach. I have a little bit more free time here, let's say like that.
Yes.
Not a free time, but you have more options to do. Let's say like that. I think this is the right word. I can go to the beach, or there is something nice to do on the city, or even enjoy the sunset.
I think, like there's different trains of thought. One train of thought is if you want to be incredible in jiu-jitsu, you have to live and breathe and go to Unity Jiu-Jitsu and shower in your gi. Like there's this mentality. And then you have another mentality, which is you have to balance with things like surfing. Like things that remove your brain from jiu-jitsu. And I definitely believe that gives you an advantage.
Yeah, like I have the surf as I don't know the word in English, but it's when I relax. It's when I have my head out of the professional things. Like when I think about physical education or physical preparation for my students or BJJ classes, I'm focusing on that. So I think everybody needs to have escape, something to escape your mind from that, because this will help you when you come back.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, something that I really like the nature. I really like to
Surfing is a very special activity.
yeah.
Like I can relate to what you're saying because I discovered it last year only in Greece.
Really?
Yes. It's something. It's such a nice feeling to be propelled by a wave silently.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
It feels weird. Like once you get on the board, you're like, how am I moving this quickly? Like this wave is doing this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I feel like that. I love it. And because I don't know if it looks like weird, but I feel that I can connect with God easier when I'm there.
Listen, it's interesting you say that. For the last 2 years, I've been reading a lot of like philosophy and all of this, and there's a lot of ancient Indian wisdom, right? I'll send you some links afterwards.
Yes,
And
please.
they basically tell you like the earth operates on cycles. The earth operates on energy, and we're all part of it. We're not separate. Like humans are 70+% water, right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
So the way the sea and the ocean operates, according to the moon, the blood in us is a liquid. It operates on a similar behavior. We have metals in our body, we have sodium in our body, we have salts, similar to the ocean. So our composition is actually pretty close to the sea. So there's a major connection. Like when you go on grass and you lie down, for some reason the body feels different. When you're swimming in the ocean, the body feels different.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you're saying, and I agree with. That's why I love the sea since I was a kid.
Yeah, I love these things. I feel more connected with God. Like I believe that I can feel Him better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a crazy thought, but I really
It's not
feel
like
connected with Him. I feel that I can listen Him more. I can understand what He wants from me more sometimes.
it's interesting, like you look in cultures like now we're going way off Jiu Jitsu, but I enjoy these conversations
Yeah.
a lot. A lot. No, this is actually like something I really enjoy talking about. When you say God, you're saying spirituality. Like when I hear you say God, I exchange that word for me for spirituality because there's different cultures, different religions. But what we all have in common is the spirituality. Some people call it God, some people call it Buddha, some people call it different things. But it's an element of being human and being alive that's essential. Like when somebody deletes it, it's like deleting an arm. It's a level of thinking, it's a level of living that is essential for progress. Without spirituality, you will have no purpose, you'll have no direction.
Yeah. I used to say that I'm think by myself like when you don't have spirituality or God. I sometimes I say God.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to make more mistakes when you have God with you. When you feel like a I don't know how to say, but when you feel that you are in love with what you want,
Yes.
and really trying to understand what God or the spirituality wants to show us. You can be connected with Allah, God, Buddha. I don't know who the people say. Right? I call God. I believe in God. So we are Christians.
Yes.
So we have some thoughts. I'm not so Christian, but I'm Baptist. My mom, she Baptist. So
okay.
I'm a Christian, but I'm spiritualist. Let's say like that.
Yeah.
Because nowadays I know a little bit from Muslim. I know a little bit from another culture. So
yeah.
There's many things that I like it from here. Oh, it's nice from here. So yeah, I think spirituality is the best word because you learn from many cultures.
There was there's a nice book I read to do with spirituality as a neutral thing. Like, because obviously as you grow and you travel and you meet people, you get a little bit lessons from everybody. Mm-hmm. In this book, they were saying that there's a 2D world. We have 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, So there's this 2D world. Squares, circles, and triangles, they all lived in this planet. And it's 2D. And they lived their life in a 2D way, and this is all they knew. And their life was based around this. One day, a sphere comes from the sky and enters this world. And all of the 2D objects see the sphere in 3D. And their minds get blown away. And they reject it in the beginning, and they think it's Armageddon, and they think it's the end. But that 3D takes a 2D square and takes it up to the 3D atmosphere and shows it that the square can be a cube. And that revelation is spirituality, because you have to be able to accept something greater than you in order to move to that next phase. Whether it's life after death, whether it's religion, whether it's being a better person. But like, the book is very interesting. I'll also send you that if you like this stuff.
Yeah,
but
send it, just...
I love this philosophy. And I used to be a person that was like back and forth on spirituality. I used to think sometimes it brings more harm than good if you look at human history. But if you want to be an optimist, this is the best version. It's a method for you to excel and improve in life. It's a vehicle. Regardless what you call it, it can make you a better person in life.
Yeah, I used to say that we have to try to be better what we was yesterday. If, in my point of view, we see all prophets in all the religions. Okay, what they used to say, always when they come, what they say: love,
peace, love,
peace, love, be patient, trying to love the other one like you. So I think all the way for us to get better in spiritual way and grow, it's all around this.
Yeah, I believe so. And that's why, like, I'm always happy when I meet people from your background, from different cultures, different religions, to talk, to ask, because there's almost more to learn. And jiu-jitsu, for me, the reason I love it so much, it's a bridge. It has nothing to do with fighting. Like, now I can talk. I've never met you before. We've never talked before, but we can talk like friends because we share a common ground in jiu-jitsu, and we can talk about spirituality now. You know what I mean? Like, this is the beauty of what we do.
Sure.
I really appreciate your time, Polyana. I enjoyed talking to you. I hope you had a good time on the podcast.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure for me.
Absolutely.
You. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope the girls enjoy.
I see the chat.
Lots more. So
I believe that there is a huge thanks to you, and it'll always be remembered, and the passionate people of this region that know this martial art. We know who Polyana Lago is in this country. We know what you've done and what you will do, because there's still plenty of work left for you to do here. And I wish you all of the success.
Thank you so much.
ADCC.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Sure.
Deal. We'll be watching and cheering.
Let me have the dates.
Yes, okay, for sure. Hang in there. Everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Everybody, I see you. El Riyadh School is clapping. Vinicius Cruz, Lola the Warrior Princess showing some love, and her brother Pepe, Luis Flavio Serafin, everybody in here. Thank you, Mamute, the best interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the podcast. Don't miss it. Physiologist, a guy who uses your muscles and manipulates your spine to fix you. We need this in jiu-jitsu. So be sure to tune in. Much love, everybody. Catch you tomorrow. Peace out.